What if I told you entire F1 championship titles weren't always won by the best car or driver, but by tires? Yeah, tires. Not engines, not aerodynamics, not even the person behind the wheel. Just the round black things most of us only think about when they go flat on the freeway. And get this, in the 20th century, Formula One basically had a secret Cold War happening. Michelin versus Goodyear. Two giants battling not just for trophies, but for reputation, market share, and just straight up dominance. And the craziest part, these tire wars did not just shape who won races, they shaped safety, car design, and even the rules of Formula One itself. So buckle up, because today we're diving into the wild story of how tire companies quietly controlled the destiny of Formula One. Let us start with the basics. Why do tires matter so much? In Formula One, tires are the only connection between the car and the track. 4 little patches of rubber, each about the size of your hand, carry the entire weight of the car, power of the engine, and the balls of the driver. A bad tire compound can mean spinning into the barriers, and a good one can mean getting into the front. Think of Formula One like making pizza. The engine is the oven, blasting out the heat. The aerodynamics are the sauce and the toppings, carefully balanced. But the tires, they are the dough. Get the dough wrong, no matter how fancy the rest is, the whole pizza falls apart. By the mid-1970s, Goodyear was the undisputed king of Formula One. They had already outlasted Firestone, Dunlop, and by 1974, they were the exclusive tire supplier. Every car, every driver, and every race, all Goodyear. And they were everywhere. NASCAR, Indy, Le Mans, their marketing strategy was simple. Win on Sunday, sell on Monday. Every Formula One podium doubled as a Goodyear commercial. But exclusivity made them complacent. And when you're the only game in town, innovation slows. And while Goodyear was basking in the spotlight, Michelin was warming in the pits waiting for their moment. In 1977, Michelin arrived and brought a game changer: radial tires. You see, unlike Goodyear's bias-ply design, radials kept cooler, flexed differently, and offered more consistent grip. Suddenly, cars on Michelin's could push harder, corner sharper, and stay strong for an entire race. Ferrari and Renault signed up, and in 1979, Renault won its first ever Grand Prix with turbo power on Michelin rubber. The race, Dijon, France, is legendary. Gilles Villeneuve and Ray Renault fought wheel to wheel, swapping places multiple times. Renault's Renault on Michelin radials clung to the asphalt in ways that stunned fans. From the late 70s to the early 80s, Michelin and Goodyear went head to head. Michelin would debut an ultra-soft compound that gripped like glue on Monaco's tight corners. Goodyear responded with a harder compound designed for Monza's long straights. Teams began switching suppliers mid-season, chasing every advantage. Drivers became guinea pigs. Niki Lauda, Alan Jones, Nelson Piquet all had moments where tire choices meant the difference between glory and retirement. In fact, the 1981 championship, Piquet's Brabham struggled with Goodyear's wear rates, while Williams on Michelin rubbers sometimes had the upper hand. It made races thrilling, but unpredictable. Fans loved the chaos, drivers, not so much. Because let us be honest, tires became divas. Imagine Goodyear saying, "I only work if you heat me to exactly 92 degrees Celsius. Anything else, darling, and I'm sliding off the track." Meanwhile, Michelin rolls in. I'm consistent, I'm fast, and I'm magnificent in the rain. Bow down. Drivers spent entire practice sessions waking up their tires. One lap they are lifeless, and the next they grip like superglue. When they behaved, it was magic. When they did not, goodbye championship hopes. The early 80s was peak tire war chaos. Prost's Renault, Mansell's Lotus, Ferrari's turbo cars, all riding Michelin. McLaren and Williams bouncing between suppliers. But Michelin, frustrated by politics and favoritism, pulled out in 1984. Goodyear regained its monopoly. Still, the damage was done. Everyone now understood championships were not just about engines or drivers, they could be won or lost due to tires. Skip ahead to the new millennium, and Michelin returned back in 2001, ready for round 2. This time, the opponent was Bridgestone. Ferrari and Bridgestone were basically in a relationship. The tires were almost entirely designed around Michael Schumacher's style: sharp turn in, high corner speed, and relentless consistency. From 2000 to 2004, Ferrari dominated, and part because their tires were built like a custom suit. But Michelin had strength in numbers. They supplied more teams, McLaren, Williams, and Renault. More teams meant more data. More data meant faster development. And soon, Michelin was closing the gap. By 2003, championships were swinging back and forth. Renault's Fernando Alonso scored his first win on Michelin's, while Williams and McLaren regularly challenged Ferrari. The tire war was back in full force. Then came 2005. Michelin dominated the season until Indianapolis. The US Grand Prix was supposed to showcase Formula One in America. Instead, it turned into one of the sport's darkest days. Michelin discovered their tires could not survive the banked final corner. They warned the FIA, if our cars raced flat out, the tires could explode. They begged for a chicane, but the FIA refused. On race day, every Michelin car withdrew after formation lap. 14 cars pulled in, only 6 Bridgestone cars remained. Fans were furious, booing, throwing trash, chanting for refunds. The global broadcast showed empty grandstands and angry crowds. It was very humiliating to Michelin and just a reminder of how much control tire companies had. After Indy, the FIA had seen enough. Tire wars created excitement, but they also created danger and imbalance. By 2007, Michelin withdrew again, and by 2010, Formula One moved back to a single supplier, Pirelli. That system remains today. It ended the unpredictability, but also the magic. No more overnight developments, no more championship swings based on supplier, just one tire brand for everyone. So what did the tire wars leave behind? Well, innovation, radial technology, new compounds, and wet weather designs all advanced faster. Drama, championships swung wildly, sometimes based on tire choices alone. And safety lessons. Blowouts in Indy 2005 forced Formula One to prioritize safety over spectacle. Even today, when commentators obsessed about tire degradation or graining, that is the legacy of these battles. And it was not just technology, these wars changed strategy forever. Pit stops, fuel loads, qualifying runs are all influenced by lessons learned in the Michelin Goodyear arm race. So next time you hear an F1 driver complain about tires falling off, remember this is not new. Decades ago, Michelin and Goodyear's rivalry quietly decided who won and lost. And maybe that's the poetry of it. The most advanced cars in the world, billions spent on engines and aerodynamics, drivers risking their lives at 200 miles per hour, and the deciding factor was just the round black things holding them to the track. Because in Formula One, the biggest battles were not always under the hood, sometimes they were under the car.